Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm just sharing the screen. All visible?
Yes, you can start.
Right. So today we will start with the go down entry. See, we know that in a business, we have purchases and sales, and all the purchases, whether it's the purchases of final goods or purchases of raw materials or purchases of work in progress, they are stored in warehouses or godowns, what we call. So, how do we create godowns? How do we mention their locations? How do we update their contact details? How do we make purchase entries and update the godown simultaneously? We will learn that. Now, just 1 minute. Right. Now, how do we proceed on Gateway of Tally? This is the main screen of Gateway of Tally. Remember, this Tally version is a little updated one as compared to what we were doing in previous classes. That was Tally Prime 9. It is Tally Prime Silver, right? Here we can see the version name, right? Now, this is the Gateway of Tally, right? On Gateway of Tally, you have to select Create, right? After selecting Create, or we can use keyboard shortcut C, we'll have this list of creation. Groups we have already learned with. Ledgers we are done with. Voucher types we are done with. Stock group, stock category, stock item, unit of measurement we have done. Now comes the go down. We will enter the go down option, right? Then now let's give a brief reading to what is and how do we proceed on Tally screen. Gateway of Tally, this is the path we follow. Create, select godowns, press enter. Alternatively, now they're telling us the keyboard shortcuts which we can use. The keyboard shortcut which we can use is Alt plus G. If I press Alt plus G is the shortcut we will be repeating again and again now, right? This means go to. Right. Go to will provide me the list of, and if you can see in the screen that there is a shortcut key also here. So if these shortcut keys with underlines, I can just make use of it if they are highlighted, number one. Secondly, I can make use of it with the help of the cursor, right? Only these shortcut keys can be selected via this mouse. Otherwise, we need to use only the keyboard. If I want to use this shortcut, there are two options. Either I will use the mouse. Second option is on the keyboard, I will press Alt plus G and I will go to. Go to means I will have this list of options. Out of that, I will select go down. So it is go to create master. In master, we select go downs and press enter. When you create a go down or a location in Tally Prime for the first time, you are prompted to alter existing internal go down where all your inventory is stored by default. So Tally assumes that you are having a warehouse and you are storing in warehouse. It's an in-store warehouse. You're storing all your raw materials, all your supplies in that warehouse, and it will by default ask you to alter the existing internal go down. We'll see how. So after creating and entering into the alteration of already existing go down, we will choose the name of the go down. As in other masters, you can specify multiple aliases for the go down name. So if the go down name is HSR go down head office, right, HO office, we can give the alias as HO go down to be precise. It means the head office go down, and it's the main group, so it will come under primary. If we have the main go down and then we have branches of main go down, right? We suppose the main go down is in Delhi, right? And Delhi maybe have branch one at Ashok Vihar, other at maybe Rajouri Garden, right? So these are the subversions of go down, means sub branches of go down. But this head office go down is the main one, so we will select the primary. Now, what you see on the screen can vary based on your choices. Press F12 to configure. So basically, F12 is basically to make changes in configuration, if any, whether it's related to go down. So if I'm doing vouchers and I need to change configuration related to vouchers, the keyboard shortcut key is F12. And if you remember, even on the main screen on Gateway of Tally, if I wanted to change the general configuration, the main keyboard shortcut key was F12 again, right? So F12 is a keyboard shortcut, right? It's a shortcut key on every screen I'm opening on Tally, and it leads to changes in configuration. Now I am having the go down screen, so I will change the go down configuration. As in the case of other ledgers and groups, primary is the root under which you can create a go down. By default, main location is available under primary. When you create a go down, selecting primary creates the go down at the same level as that of main location. Means when you're creating the company, ABC company, and you have created ABC company, you have given certain address of that ABC company, that address becomes the main location of go down, right? By default, you can obviously change that. It is not necessary that you store there only, but by default Tally assumes that ABC company's go down's address is the address which we have already provided, that is the main location. And that is why Tally gives you by default the option to alter the existing go down rather than creating your own go down. And definitely we'll see that into our next coming screens. Now F12 configurations for go down, except the screen, as always you can press Ctrl A to save. So this is again the most common keyboard shortcuts we use. This is to accept the screen. See, when we keep on entering the details, and I want to move to the next tab, I keep on pressing enter. Enter means moving to the next tab, accepting what is there in the information and moving to the next tab. And finally, I get a screen with a pop-up saying yes or no. And Tally says, why do you move your hands to Y or N? Just press with your left hand Control and A and directly select yes, right? So this keyboard shortcut key is not to have this pop-up, but to already accept the screen by pressing Control plus A. Now this is the screen. When I go to create, then I go to go downs, then I have this screen. This is create new, this is alter existing, and alter existing is my by default what it comes. That if I do not move my mouse and if I keep on pressing enter, I will enter into this alter existing. See, it says main location already exists by default for the company. Do you want to alter the main location or create a new go down? So I say alter the existing and enter the name as in store. Enter the name as in store and under select primary, enter the name as in store and under select primary as it is the main group of go down. So it says when I have selected this alter existing one, I have this screen. Name is in store because we are assuming that we are having the same address as of the company. So we are naming it as in store go down, and it's the main branch. It's the main go down. So we will select primary. When we select primary, remember we can have some branches under it, and it is the main branch. It is the main group, I can say. And if I want to create a new go down, select create new and create new go down, right? Enter the name of the new go down as warehouse. So we are on go down creation, name warehouse, alias if you want to put, otherwise it's okay. And again under primary. Also, I will give you a quick tip to you. You can also create multiple go downs. Now, why we need to have this option, multiple go downs? We need to have this option if suppose I have this warehouse and I want branch 1, I want branch 2 of this warehouse, I want branch 3, and these all are under the main group. So at that time I need the multiple option. And now how do we go for the multiple option? If you have stored your inventory in more than one location, in Tally Prime you can choose to create go downs one by one or create multiple go downs from a single screen. Now we are here to learn how do we create. We have already done with how do we create the single go down at a time. We have to go create go down And either we do alter existing or we go for the creation of new godown. Then we have creation of multiple godown. Let's see how do we proceed for this. You can choose the parent godown from the same screen when creating multiple godowns. So suppose this is my parent godown, the primary one, the warehouse. Right now, what after this? In the chart of accounts screen, press Alt plus H, multi-masters, and select multi-create. Right? Press Alt plus H, multi-masters, and then select multi-create. So this is the shortcut key. This is the keyboard shortcut. And of course, there will be option on the right-hand side also. Right? So in the charts of accounts, press Alt plus H, multi-masters, and select multi-create. Now, under go down, if you select under go down, all items, you will be prompted to select the parent go down for each go down name that you specify under the name column. Now, it's kind of, if you remember, we did multiple ledger creation. Right, in multiple ledger creation, we need to provide the main parent group for each sub ledger, right? For each subgroup, which is also called a ledger account, we need to provide the parent group. Similarly, in this each branch of godown, we need to provide the name of parent godown. Right. So a sample of multiple godown creation of the screen is here. You can see multiple godown creation, the name of the company. Right. Now, how did we reach here? We pressed Alt plus H on the chart of account screen. That was on godown, after the godown creation. Now we provided the serial number here. Then we provided the name of the branch. It is, I'll zoom in a little bit, right? It is Hosar godown under main location. This is the location which has been predefined by default. Then Hassan, again main location. Then Koramangala head office under Koramangala godown, right? So this is the primary godowns and these are the branches. So, or I would say sub godowns. So multiple creation is useful when we are creating branches of the main godown, right? What you see on the screen can vary based on your choices. Now press F12, configure to change the option, right? So if you want to make any configuration on the godown screen, you have to press F12. Godown entry via purchase voucher. Now we have learned how to create main godowns, how to create the subdivisions. Now we have to learn how to make a godown entry in purchase voucher. Let's see that. For this, after creating the godowns, what you have to do is the first step. And the first step you need to follow is number one. After you have created godowns, right? And specified the locations, you have to press Alt plus G. That means go to. And you can see it is at the top of the screen, right in the middle of the screen, right? Center of the screen, top center. Now, press Alt plus G or take your mouse to this button and just click it. You will go to the list of vouchers. You will have, not list of vouchers. I will say list of go to. And what kind of go to? Which we already saw, like this. As soon as I press Alt plus G, I have this option. I'll just zoom in, right? This go to screen pops up with this kind of screen, right? Where we have any creation group, ledger, voucher type. So what I'll do, I'll select the voucher type, right? Because I want to go to my purchase voucher. In purchase voucher, I need to provide the godown details. So after creating godown, after mentioning their location, I will press Alt plus G. Number one, number two, I will have the go to screen. Number three, I will select my purchase voucher. And this is the screen which is being shown here. So let's rub this off. Now we have the purchase voucher screen, which is already on the tally. Since it's the updated version, it has many new features as what we see earlier. Now, accounting voucher creation, purchase number. Here it is the number. Then we have supplier invoice number. We can put the details. If I want to change the date, I will use F2. Right? If I want to change the date on any voucher screen, I will use keyboard shortcut F2. Right? F2 is for the date. You can select it from here also with the help of a mouse. Mouse works on these buttons and on these buttons which are highlighted, not which are unhighlighted. Or if I want to use the keyboard, I cannot use mouse in this screen. It will not come. I have to use the keyboard shortcut. So if I press F2, I will be able to change the date, then party account name. Now, when I come to party account name, this is the list of ledger accounts which are coming up, right? Ace Electronics, A1 Electronics, then when I've done purchases on Cash, Digital World, these all are my list of suppliers. So I will select any supplier with which I have the purchase transaction. Accordingly, I'll select. And after selecting the party's account name, we will see in the coming screens how does it appears. Whatever party name I select, accordingly, I'll have the current balance. Let's see how. Enter the supplier details. Suppose I have selected A1 Electronics. This is the current supplier I'm dealing with. Right. Now, can you see this shortcut? This means Control plus A. This means I have selected A1 Electronics and all the party details has been popped up, and I do not want to make any changes because these supplier details have already been pre-filled when I was making the ledger. These details have been pre-filled when I was making the ledger of this supplier, right? When I was making the ledger of this supplier called A1 Electronics, all details were filled. Which Tally is just showing me if I want to make any changes, and I do not want to make any changes. If I press enter, I will come to this bar, then I will come to this bar, then I will come to this bar. I'll press enter, I'll jump here. I'll press enter again, I'll jump here. Pressing enter means I'm accepting this as it is. Then I'll press enter, I'll jump here. Then I'll press enter, I'll jump here. I'll move to the next line as I'm keeping on pressing the enter. Then I'll jump to this. But I want to escape all these steps of pressing enter. Here comes the rescue. I will press Control plus A. As soon as I press Control plus A, all of this is accepted as it is without making changes. So this is the use of Control plus A. Students do ask me, why should we press Control plus A? We can press enter quickly and we can just go through this. We can just go through this quickly. But no, pressing enter takes time. You just press Control plus A and your screen is accepted as it is. Now, as soon as I've pressed Control plus A, this is accepted as it is. Now, if you can see, we have party account name A1 Electronics. If you can see further, there is a current balance of 9,17,840 credit. What does this current balance? Can anyone tell? What does this current balance means? When I've entered A1 Electronics, already this comes by default. This is not fed by me. This is taken up by Tally through the transactions which have already been recorded in vouchers. So this balance pops up. This balance means that my company, Max Electronics is my company. It has already made purchases for A1 Electronics worth rupees 9,17,840 rupees on credit. So I have my credit balance of this much amount with A1 Electronics, right? Only with A1 Electronics. This is not the total purchases. Total purchases are also showed. I have my total purchases as 35,75,700, right? And it is with respect to all the suppliers, right? All good. So now this is already pre-fed. This is already pre-fed. When I am having a credit CR after this, it means I have the balance this much owing to A1 Electronics. Now comes the name of item. Now I will select the name of item. When I come to this bar, this list of stock items pops up, right? Sorry, I thought this was a list of supplies, but this is not list of supplies. This is the list of items, right? List of items that already comes in my that I've already purchased. Now I have Asus monitor 16 number, Canon 13 number, Canon EOS 2 number, Canon. It's not mentioned, so I might not be having this stock. Dell 1734, Intel 33, Kodak 2. This I might be missing on these again. Matlab, either they have already sold out, or I have not purchased, or I'm willing to purchase, but they're not yet purchased. So this is the list of stock items I already have. I will choose one of the stock item, the number, the rate, and in which go down they are appearing. This is what we will do. So what we have done, we have put purchase number, we have entered the date, we have put the party name, and as soon we have accepted the party account details, the current balance related to party account has already been popped up. Then we have purchases ledger, and the total purchases balance, outstanding purchases is here. And then I'll select the name of stock item from this list. Now, after selecting the stock of item, we have selected, if you can see, it's Asus 16.6 monitor. After selecting this, I have this pop-up screen. Stock item allocation. Enter godown name in which you have stored that particular stock item, right? So if this is the stock item, and now I need to fill in which godown this stock item is stored, right? And the quantity that is stored, and the rate, and per piece amount, and then the amount. So see, if you can see, I'm on godown tab, and two godowns which I've already created is popping up, and you can see that in store has 16 numbers. So enter respective quantity, rate, and unit of measure. So in warehouse, I have 10 numbers, 5300 is the rate, and this is the unit of measurement, that is numbers, 53,000. Then in store, I have 5, 5300. Numbers is the unit of measurement, 26,500. So of course, rate has to be same. Basically, I had 16, and I am saying 10 exists in one here warehouse, that is in warehouse, and 5 exists in another godown, that is in store. So out of 16, 10 is in the warehouse godown, and 5 is in the in-store godown. Right? This is how we put details of the stocks. This is stock item allocation in godown. Now press F8 and go to sales voucher. This is how we did the stock item allocation with the purchase voucher, right? This is basically showing Asus 16.6 monitor exists in these two warehouses with these two respective numbers, and it has been bought by us from A1 Electronics, right? Now press F8 and go to sales voucher. If I press F8, or if I select from the mouse, with the help of the mouse from this pan, this sales voucher appears. Now this is the sales voucher. Enter customer name and details. Now sales number 34, party account name. This is the list of ledger accounts. Again, we will have same kind of details. Instead of now supplier, we will enter the customer details. Press Ctrl+A to accept the party details of customer. So this is the list of customers. It appears to be same by default. Party details, right? We are taking Ace Electronics as a customer now. Now buyer bill to mailing name. We press Ctrl+A to accept the party details as it is. Now the delivery note number, if any, and the dispatch details. If I have delivery note number, I will enter the details. Otherwise, I can again press Ctrl+A to accept this screen, right? This is the second pop-up basically. After this pop-up, we have this pop-up. Order number is not applicable. Now this is the third pop-up screen we have. Order number, we put it as not applicable. Entering godown details from which sale has been made. Now godown, order number we are putting as not applicable because we are about to put quantity here, and it's the delivery note that is more relevant, and the order has been placed. So we are selecting godown as in store, quantity, 2 number, rate 6200, unit of measurement, numbers, this. So we have made sales of this, again Asus 16.6 monitor, to Ace Electronics, and as you can see, Ace Electronics, they were showing some outstanding balance. This is somewhat 1,47,100. Means we have made this approx 1,47,000 sales to Ace Electronics on credit, not in cash. So we have sold Asus to Ace Electronics, and the Asus from which go down, it has gone to Ace Electronics. It has gone from in-store go down. How many? Two numbers we have sold. At what rate? 6,200. So if you remember, we had the rate of purchase as 5,300 and we have rate of selling as 6,200 here, right? We have sold two Asus monitors to Ace Electronics, and from where they went from in-store go down. Now, if I want, now this was all about how we are creating godowns, creating multiple godowns, making changes in how we are updating the purchased items with godowns, the sale items with godowns. And if I want to see the summary of the godowns, right, I can see via here, right? If I press Ctrl plus G to select stock group come stock item summary. When I press that, after creating these godowns, I press Ctrl plus G again, I get the list of godowns summary. So I can select, there are many options. You can select godown summary with stock groups, godown summary with stock items. Now, what is the difference between godown summary with stock item, godown summary with stock groups? We know that, for example, we are talking about electronics, right? This is the main group. This is the main stock group. And we are selling monitors, LCDs. These are stock items, right? So if I want to see the godown summary with only stock groups, then only this will appear. These two will not appear, right? And if I want to see godown summary with stock items, then I will have groups also and stock items also, right? So you can choose. Tally is a wonderful software and it provides you so many options. It provides you with many options to see which godown has which stock group with what stock item. And if you want to see the minimal parts, you can just choose the godown summary with stock group. If I select only stock groups, I will see only the main groups, not the stock items under it. If I select stock items, I will see only the stock items, not with the stock group. And if I select both, I'm selecting this screen is showing both. Select stock group come stock item summary. So if you can see, we have computer parts, monitors, then we have these stock items. These are the stock items, Asus monitor, Dell monitor, and this is the stock group. Then we have processor. This is a stock group. And Intel processor. This is a stock item. Digital camera, stock group. Kodak compact. This is a stock item. So I am having list of stock groups with stock items under different godowns with numbers, rates, and their values, right? And this is for the period 1st April to 19th November. We can obviously choose our period. And if I want to do any godown configuration, we will keep on talking about F12, F2. Now, if I press F12, what actually happens? This is the pop-up screen I have. And if I want to make changes, show quantity, yes. Show alternate units, no. Show rate, yes. This is by default, which has already been selected by Tally. Now you can make changes according to your things. Obviously, show rate, yes. Show value, yes. Show opening balance, no. You can select it as yes. Show goods inwards, no. Show goods outwards, no. You can select yes or no according to your discretion. Show gross value. This is not allowed to be changed right now, so it is not highlighted. Show closing balance, yes. Show stock items with zero quantity or balance, no. Means I'm having certain stock items which have zero balance. I do not want it to be shown. I will say no, but better do it yes, because we should know now what stock items we were already having. Exclude details. This cannot be selected. Format of report, condensed or detailed. This is my option. Display name for stock items, name only. Display name for stock groups and godowns, name only. Show base currency, no. you can select it as yes. Sorting method default, that is already by default selected, so you can go with this as it is. Now, detailed reports of go down in store inwards and outwards. Basically, they are saying ki go down in store. This is the name of the go down which we already gave. Detailed report of this go down giving us inwards, that is the purchases we have done. Inwards means the purchases and the sales. The purchases and sales summary related to the go down name in store and its closing balance. This is the example. We created in-store go down, and now this is the summary of a particular go down. That was not the summary of a particular go down, that was the summary of stock group and stock items together. So I'm saying the Tally provides a lot of options. You can see go down summary with respect to stock groups and stock items, either of them, both of them together. Then second option we have seeing the go down summary of a particular go down with purchases or sales or both and closing balance. So this is the go down name. It's saying, let me just zoom in, right? So it is saying go down in store, right? We are talking about a particular stock item, that is Intel Core processor, right? Max Electronics. This is the name of our company. Period is 1st April 2020 to 19 November 2020. Now this is showing me inwards quantity and value. Then we have outwards quantity and value. Opening balance April. We are starting with April. Opening balance is already given as 26 numbers. Opening balance, sorry, there is no opening balance. There was a closing balance. Now in April we have certain outwards, means we sold for quantity. Value is this. So the number is reduced from 26 to 22. Right. Then in May we did not have anything. It went blank. Then in June we have bought 8 number. So we can see there is an and we sold 2 number. So net 8 came in and 2 went out. So we have net addition of 6 only. So from 22 to we have 28. Then in July we bought 8 again and we sold 8 again. Right? Just a second. Yeah. Sorry for the temporary glitch. Is the screen visible? Yes. So in August, we have similarly 8 in, yeah, we were on July. So July had few entries in September. Basically, whatever is the inward and outward, the net effect is shown in the closing balance, right? And the grand total inwards, outwards, and the closing balance. Right. And this is the graph that in April we had this much. In May we didn't have any entry. In June we have this much purchases. In June we have this much sales. In July we had this much. In August we had same. Right. In September we had more purchases than sales. So this is the graph telling us which had what. Right. How much purchases and how much sales. Right. So opening balance given, and then April, May, June, July, and this is for the complete period. See, this is showing the financial year, but we have the period selected as 1st April to 19 November, so it is showing up to the month of November only, right? So this was the detailed report of go down in store inwards and outwards and closing balance, right? All clear with the fact related to go down creation, multiple go down creation, branches, in store warehouse, which we did, and purchase entries, sales entries. Basically, we did how we allocate the stocks in different go downs when we are purchasing or when we are selling it, and how we can see go down summaries, stock group wise, stock item wise, month wise for a particular go down, right? Now we will start with sales order processing. I hope the screen is visible to everyone, right? I'll just reselect it. Yes. Now, before proceeding with sales order processing, I would like to do one discount received entry during purchase in Tally, right? So just a second. Right. Okay. We'll do the discount entry later. Let's proceed with sales order processing. Now, what is the difference between sales and sales order processing? Can anyone tell me? Difference between sales. We already did sales voucher. Now, what is the difference between sales and sales order processing? Sales is cash or credit. And we know if we did the cash sales, which voucher we used? We used receipt voucher, right? And if we did sales on credit, which voucher we used? We used sales voucher. Then why all of a sudden we are into sales order processing? What is sales order processing? Sales order processing is that sometimes we do not get order immediately. There is a process involved, right? It is possible that first there is a quotation, then there is an order, then we provide, even before order, we can say first there is a quotation, right? Then there is bidding, that which seller is giving me the cheapest supplies, right? The customer says, and suppose I'm one of the seller and my bid is selected. I am the one who is selling this product A at the lowest price in the market. Then there is sample check. We send samples, they check, they approve of the sales, then they place the sales order, then there is a delivery note, then there is a sales invoice, and then there is a receipt, then they make payment. So this whole process is sales order processing. Now this whole process of sales order processing can involve many steps for few companies, and it can involve a little less steps for few other companies, or it can be a direct sales invoice and receipt. But when it involves certain few steps, right, it's not on immediate basis that it is bought and sold and we have got the bills receivable, but there is a sales order process involved. We use this method of recording sales, right? Let us see which vouchers are used, how we actually see the summary of the orders being processed for sales. Now, let me give you a reading to these three things, these three graphs. Now, first, there is a quotation, then there is a sales order. Before sales order, we can have a sample check also, right? Then we have delivery note or challan, which acts as a voucher or as a proof for this sales order. Then I have this sales invoice. After the sales being made, I have the sales invoice, the invoice which I issue to the customer. And on the payment, I have this receipt. So every transaction has a voucher of proof of evidence related to it. Then we have delivery note, we have sales invoice, we have receipt. This is the less steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 steps involved in sales order processing. This has 3 steps involved in sales order processing, and this has 2 steps involved in sales order processing. And these steps vary from company to company, right? Now, how do we proceed sales order processing? Press F10 key and go to the list of vouchers. Right? I press F10 key and I have list of vouchers. After having the list of vouchers, can you see accounting vouchers, contra, credit note, modal, payment, purchase, receipt, all discussed. Then we have inventory vouchers, physical stock, and stock journal. Now let us see on which voucher we go to. Change voucher type. Now we will go to sales voucher, and in sales voucher, we will make alteration, right? We will alter it. We will change it to sales order, right? So sales order processing do not involve creation of, it's basically involving alteration of the already existing sales voucher, right? We have to create basically or alter the sales voucher, and we will rename it as sales order voucher. Now, change voucher type. We selected the sales voucher and we renamed as sales order, right? Activate the sales order voucher by pressing yes. You need to activate the sales order. You need to activate the sales order voucher type. Activate now. Yes. Select the party name from the list of ledger accounts. Now, can you see instead of sales, it says sales order, right? And basically, we are in the change mode. We have created a new voucher called sales order. This is the number we are giving to the sales order, right? Party account name. This is where it comes the customer's name. And as soon as I come to this tab, I have the list of customers. Then obviously we know what is the current balance, sales ledger, current balance of the sales ledger. After selecting the customer name, we enter the order details, mode or terms of payment, whether it is on cash basis. See, when we are processing the order, all terms conditions are decided beforehand, whether we will be getting payment after few months or on delivery of order or in check, whatever is the way, the mode is decided at the time of placing order. Other references, terms of delivery, dispatch details, dispatch through, destination, carrier name, bills of lading, motor vehicle name, date, right? So this is the order details which we can fill. Then press space bar and enter the stock item. Now I have selected my customer name as High Tech Computer World. The balance it is showing is this much. Sales ledger, this is the sales ledger in which we have made the alteration. Current balance of the sales ledger we have made already. We have made 85 lakhs 91,100 rupees credit sales already. And out of this 85 lakhs, we are making 3 lakh 46,920 rupees sales to this right person we have already made. Now we will select the name of item, right? Name of stock item which we are selling to this customer. We press space bar on the keyboard and this appears, right? As soon as we press space bar, we will have the list of stock items, right? Now if I press A, I will be able to select this. I press enter and I select ASUS 16.6 monitor. Then enter the order. Remember, if you want to put any narration, you can put narration below also. Enter the order due date. Now, why we have to fill these details? Order due date means we are placing the order right now, but it will be delivered over some time. It's not delivered tomorrow. It can be, right? Maybe tomorrow, maybe after one day, but it's not being delivered right now, right? So enter the order due date. That is why it's called sales order processing, because it involves certain time in delivery of the order. Now, item allocation for the item we have already selected is ASUS monitor. Quantity, rate per amount, due on we are making this sales order. The date, I hope we made, yeah, we have selected the date as 25th March 2020. Let's see what, see, it's basically showing me the date which is the current date of the computer, right? Now we'll make changes. Suppose we say due on, it's due in 3 days, right, from today. So enter the item number, rate, and amount. Now we have filled this is to be delivered in 3 days. Now, how many stock items of ASUS 16.6 monitor has to be delivered in 3 days? It is 10 number. Now rate is 7,000. Unit of measurement is numbers, and this is automatically processed by Tally. This we do not fill. Then we fill this, we fill this, we fill this, and we get this amount. And this is the total finally. You can add further stock items, right? Now, what we did just is we put sales order as number 1. We are on voucher creation. We have created a basically new voucher. I repeat, we have basically created a new voucher by altering the sales voucher. This is the party name, customer name, and this is the details. And we have selected ASUS monitor, and it is to be delivered in 3 days. Quantity 10, rate this, and this is the unit of measurement. Now we can select any other item to be sold to this high-tech company. Yes, Dell 7 will follow the same process. Due in how many days? It can be similar to 3 days. Dell 17-inch monitor, 10 numbers, rate is 8,000, Remember, this rate is not the purchasing price, it is the selling price, and it has to be different from the purchase order vouchers. Now, this is the total. We have 20 numbers to be sold worth rupees 1,50,000 to high tech in 3 days. Now, if I want to clearly accept the screen, I can press, I hope you all remember this shortcut now, Control plus A. And if I want to go to the narration, after this, I will press enter and I will be here. I can enter the details, and we should enter the details. Narration can be being 10 units of Asus 16.6 and 10 numbers of Dell sold in 3 days, being sold in 3 days. Now press Alt plus G, that is go to. Now why we need to press Alt plus G? Let's see what we want to see. Alt plus G means having a list. Go to. Now you can select. Yes, if I press Alt plus G after entering the narration, after pressing Control plus A and accepting this whole screen, after accepting this whole screen, I press Alt plus G, I have this list of reports, right? Now, sales order due only, sales order vouchers, sales order stock group outstandings, sales order reports, the only stock group outstanding, sales order vouchers. So Tally is giving me options that how I want to see. Do I want to see the outstandings, dues only, or I want to see sales order stock group wise? So I have many options in which I can view this sales order. Just a second. Yeah. So let us just read how did we actually perform sales order processing on Tally. When you receive an order from a customer, you may need to provide the details of items, quantities, delivery date, and so on with the sales order number when these goods are delivered. This sales order number is used to track the details, order details, either in the delivery note or in the sales invoice. So sales order number is important to just make a tracking that how we are processing the order, on which milestone we have reached. Right now, press Alt plus G, that is go to create voucher, F10 other vouchers, type or select sales order. Alternatively, what is the alternative? Gateway of Tally voucher, other vouchers, select sales order. So we are creating a new voucher. And how do we create a new voucher? By going to F10. Remember, F8 is the sales voucher, and in F10 we create new voucher, that is sales order voucher. Pressing Y, yes, you can activate the sales order voucher type. When we create sales order voucher, remember it asked, do you want to activate this voucher? Press Y or select yes. Then enter the party details, select cash or bank, which we have already discussed. Then you can create the party account on the fly by pressing Alt plus C. Now suppose this is a new thing which we didn't discuss yet. Suppose I'm entering my party account details. Now we know that when we were entering the customer details, we had a list of pop-ups, right? Suppose I want to enter the party detail which is not created till now, the ledger of which is not created, and I want to create right now, and I do not want to go back to the ledger creation screen. So we have another shortcut on the screen. If I'm on party account tab and I want to create a new party account ledger, I will press Alt plus C and I'll be able to create a new ledger for that. Then we have the dispatch details. Enter the dispatch details as needed and press enter. You can choose to enable the option for order details by pressing F12. Now, if I want to change any configuration relating to sales order, I will press F12 and I will be able to change the order details. Now you can update the buyer details while recording the transaction and print the same in the invoice. If I want to update any customer details, maybe address, maybe name, maybe phone, whatever, I can do so at this time. Enter the sales order number. If you want to enter an order number for each item, press F12. Set provide order number for each stock item to yes. Now, we were giving sales order number as 1. If you see in the screen, I was giving sales order number as 1 for these two stock items. Now, suppose I want to give different order number to Asus and Dell. For this, I have to first make the changes in configuration F12. There is an option. If I press F12, there is an option that asks me set provide order number for each stock item. And if I select yes, provide order number to yes for each stock item, I will be able to give separate order number to separate stock item. The order number field appears in the item allocation screen. It does not appear on the main screen of the invoice. Now select the sales ledger to allocate the stock items. Now I can select the sales ledger to allocate the stock items because the stock items are already mentioned in this ledger. Select the stock item or create a new item on the fly by pressing Alt plus C. Again, if the stock item is already created, I can select out of it. Now suppose I want to create a new stock item which is already not created. Suppose I forgot or it's a new stock and I'm just going through the sales order processing and I just realized that I didn't created that stock item. So I can again go to Alt plus C. So Alt plus C is the shortcut for creation, right? And it is relevant with what I am on to. If I'm on my customer details, I can create a new customer. I will press Alt plus C. If I'm on stock item, I want to create a new stock item. I will press Alt plus C. So remember, Alt plus C is a good hack to create a new item relevant on which we are dealing with. Select the stock item or create, enter the due on date, quantity, rate, which we just discussed. The amount appears automatically. If you want orders with different due dates, specify appropriate due date for each. Select additional ledgers like transportation, insurance, or discount if any. Discount we will discuss in next class. Sales order number, this is how it appears. Current, this is another example I would say. I'll just zoom in. Party account name, sales ledger, current balance, blueberry cheesecakes 12 pieces, red velvet cheese pastry 12 pieces, right? Delivery charges if any, the rate is here. Now if you can see that unit of measurement is not numbers, it is pieces, right? So we have mentioned PCS and amount is automatically calculated. Except this is the pop-up screen I was talking about. Except yes or no, I will say Y, or I will just enter on yes, or I can press Ctrl plus A as the shortcut. Provide narration if needed. As always, press Ctrl plus A to save and proceed. The following is a sample preview screen of the sales order. This is how it looks like, and you can actually ask the tally, instruct the tally to print this sales order copy. So this is how it looks like. This is the name of the company to which we are selling, voucher number, date, modes and terms of payment. If we would have specified, it would be there. Buyer's reference name, consignee, shipping to. This is the company which this is our company, sorry, and this is the company to which we are selling. That is the buyer. These are the buyer details. This is us, right? Description of goods, due on, quantity, rate, pieces, delivery charges 350, amount chargeable in words, everything. This is all. This is not written by us. It's already pre-created by Tally by default. And if I want to make any changes to this configuration, I can definitely go to F12, right? So this is all about sales order processing. I will just brief it out. We went to F10, vouchers, that is the other vouchers. We created a new voucher, sales order voucher, right? And after creation, it will say, do you want to activate this voucher? We activated to be as yes. And then we entered the party details. Then we entered the item details, and then we accept the screen, right? And we can also have the print of this screen as this. The shortcut is Control plus P for print, right? And that's it for today. We will continue with this sales order processing and the delivery notes and everything related to it in the next class. Any doubts regarding today's session? Ma'am, suppose if a supplier has transferred goods to buyer and buyer has taken possession of the goods and ownership has not been transferred, so in which voucher the seller will record the transferred goods? Buyer has accepted the sales on approval. Okay, now the voucher, if the supplier has transferred the goods, means the goods has already been in transit and the buyer has taken the possession. So we what we do is we basically ask the buyer to issue that the goods have already been is the goods are already under his possession, but they're not owned by it, and the ownership is yet to be transferred, right? So we can just get a voucher regarding that. They will issue that yes, we have received the goods, but the ownership has not been transferred. But this will come under purchase order processing. This is all what we will talk about in the next class, because the order has been transited, it has been transferred, it is physically now at the buyer's place, right? But it is not actually with the buyer in terms of ownership. So this involves purchase order processing. We will create a new voucher, again purchase order, and that will have the record of all these details, because purchase voucher or the payment voucher records all the cash purchases, cash received, purchases done over. Purchase voucher, purchases done by the supplier, purchases done by the customer. This is if I am talking as my purchases, right? Then I will talk about the purchase order processing. If I'm talking about my sales, that I am the supplier and I am making sales to the buyer, then I will use the sales order processing, right? Sales order voucher. So if I am making the sales and there is buyer A to whom the goods have been transferred, but he is not actually owning it, we will use this sales order voucher, and we will vouch each and every transaction, each and every effort with the voucher. So if it is in the possession of the buyer, then we will have a voucher regarding that. Maybe the delivery note, whatever vouchers are regarding. We will continue with the delivery note in the next class. So you will be able to relate with that. Any other? Okay, I hope there are no doubts for the current session. Okay, got it, ma'am. And for the side of buyer, we will record in purchase order. Yes, if I am the buyer and I have the goods with me, I'm on the buyer side, then I will be recording in purchase order, because it's not processed, it's under the process that we will be discussing in next class. Any other doubts? Okay, so we are good to leave this session. Thank you, everyone. We will meet in the next session.